So, got some interesting news. I'm actually by Venice Beach right now, and we're thinking about moving. But, real quick, I've got a surprise for you, and it's right over here.
Hi guys.
You guys might not have seen her on the channel for a while.
Those of you who remember me still.
Yeah, so if you've been watching the channel for the last, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 months, maybe a year, I've been doing most of the videos and Heydy kind of pops in, but it's been a while, so welcome back.
Thanks.
Welcome to this beautiful edition. Much better face to look at than mine. But let's get going. We're talking about, in this video, we literally are thinking about moving, and I know for a lot of you watching this, that probably comes as a pretty big shock because we always talk about how much we love it here, we love living here, we're getting you guys to move here. Like, wait a minute, pump the brakes, guys.
Yeah, now we're thinking about moving, but are we moving away?
That's the question. So, and if you've watched, especially like the last 6 months, a lot of the videos I've been doing walk and talks, I'll talk about like, oh, this area is interesting, or like we'll be showing clients places in these different cities, and we talk about how it'd be cool to live in this city, or it may be in this different type of living situation, like a condo or a townhome or a villa. So it's just like, we're all over the place, you know what I mean?
Yes, but I think it's good to kind of be all over the place especially when you're first moving to an area, because that way it gives you more opportunities and different opportunities in real estate too, like whether you're looking for a condo or a townhouse or a villa or a house, single family home. It's always good to have an open mind, just because that way it will give you a lot more opportunities.
Yeah, and you know, especially too for us, like I think it's good for us to have an open mind, so that way too we're always can kind of see like, oh, you know, here's the pros and cons of this city, of this, you know, type of unit to live in, a villa versus a house versus a condo. So, you know, we can kind of help navigate that process for you guys too, and understand kind of like what you're looking for. Actually, real quick, gotta show the banyan tree. We're gonna keep walking, but yeah, this is like one of our favorite spots. We were gonna actually today, we were gonna do a video showing like what we would do on a weekend, and we got to the downtown and it's a Saturday, and so there's the Sun Fiesta going, which we forgot about. Yes. Which is a big like festival, and the farmers market, and we're like, okay, that's gonna be way too crazy.
There's a lot of people out. It's pretty lively though. There's music going on, a lot of like festival activities, food trucks, so it's fun if you want to go there and hang out for the day, but not so much for the video.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's again one of the little perks that we love about it here. There's always like stuff going on, especially starting around this time of year. Things start picking up in the downtown for sure. How should we put this? We are thinking about moving strongly. Now we haven't, like, nothing has been made official, and we're still kind of tossing around some of these ideas, and so we're gonna kind of do some of that on camera for you guys. We've had some conversations, but I think there's some kinks that we need to work out and things we need to come to. Someone just whistled at you, I think, Heydy, or maybe me, I don't know.
Both of us, maybe someone who knows us from the channel.
But yeah, probably you, not me. But you want to go first on the kind of where our heads at with all this?
Yeah, so we're thinking about, well, we'll let you know where later in the video. Stay tuned for that. We're kind of considering different living situations, I guess is the way to put it. We're considering maybe a townhouse or like a villa, just not necessarily to downsize, but more or less to have less exterior maintenance. Like the lawn care would be taken care of in a villa and a townhouse.
I don't mind mowing though if we need to.
But when we don't have time, or when we're out of town mainly, that's the issue, because then we have to figure out who's gonna mow our lawn. Yeah,
and yeah, like she said, like sometimes we just have so many clients in town, and then I have my basketball skills training business, and then sometimes it's just like, I gotta, you know, find a quick, 30 minutes, and well, yeah, and it's usually like an hour and a half job, but like, okay, I guess I'm just gonna have to, you know, sleep a little less or whatever the case may be to get the lawn mowed too, or or not do some other thing that's supposed to be done with the business or whatever. So
yeah, and then with the townhouse, it's easier maintenance as well for the exterior maintenance. So like if we're out of town during hurricane season, we don't have to worry as much about it.
I'm done sitting. We just saw the cutest Jack Russell Terrier puppy, 7 months old. We just had to let you know. We didn't put it on video because we don't want to put people's stuff out there, but yeah, it was awesome.
Very friendly and energetic. So with the townhouse living situation, well, there's a mango over there.
Where? Oh my gosh. Or,
Is that a?
I don't know what that is. We never noticed this on this tree. That's not a mango, but I don't know what that is. Leave a comment and let us know if you know what that is.
I don't think this is a mango tree.
It doesn't look like a mango tree at all. The leaves don't look like it, but the fruit looks kind of mango-y.
Huh, interesting.
All of our botanical experts watching the channel,
Let us know.
let us know what the situation is. Can we eat that?
Yeah. So anyway, the townhouse living situation would give us a lot more freedom, especially if we're out of town during hurricane season. We don't have to worry about the house as much because the exterior would be, you know, taking care of the HOA if there is a hurricane or whatever. Always check your HOA rules though and what they cover and whatnot. With the villa, it would probably not be covered. The exterior maintenance wouldn't, or the exterior maintenance lawn mowing would be covered, but not the exterior if there is damage to it. You can hear the music from here, from the downtown.
Yeah, I don't know if that's from the
Or is
farmer's
that the
market or the Sun Fiesta. It could be either.
Yeah.
And here's the thing too, pros and cons of townhomes. I like them. First of all, I know a lot of people don't like having stairs, and I do for one very weird particular reason, but like with basketball, I tore my Achilles years ago, and so sometimes I get knee problems too, and I've realized a lot of that is because my calves get tight, so I kind of like the idea of having stairs to do a calf stretch, and I would use it daily because previous homes where I've had stairs, I would use those to stretch my calves, and you just get a better stretch than you can with anything else. So it's a really weird, quirky thing, but honestly for me, it's kind of like it would be huge, honestly.
Yeah.
Just because my body is like my business. So,
And it keeps you moving too,
Yeah.
you know, like you have to go up and down the stairs every day, so.
yeah, good for long-term health as long as, you know, you keep that strength up. But, and also I like the layout of it. I like how the downstairs, you usually get a nice big dedicated living room and dining room space and kitchen. And then a lot of times there will be a half bath downstairs, possibly a primary bedroom and bathroom.
Those are my favorite, I will say, having the primary and the main floor, just because like if you have health issues or someone can't go up and down the stairs all the time, like at least you have that downstairs.
And so to, I think, toss again around, like we're kind of tossing around these ideas, the whole concept of that is great, but we do have our parents come to visit a lot, so now they would have to go upstairs. So there's also kind of that side of things too that's got to go into consideration, which is where I think, you know, villas are pretty nice,
Yes.
you know, because a lot of them, they feel very house-ish, but you have a little bit less maintenance and lower cost usually for the unit itself as well, but then the HOA fee usually goes up a little bit.
Yes, and having all the bedrooms downstairs is also nice, and most of the bills will be where you have a garage like together, so garage for one unit and then the garage for the other unit, so it's kind of separated, and then you have the units at the end of that. So those are nice because they almost feel like a single family home. You're only sharing the garage walls.
And for those of you that aren't familiar with like what the difference are, I guess we probably should have explained this. Usually a townhome is going to be 2 stories, maybe 3. We've seen some 3 or 4 story ones. It's pretty rare, usually 2 stories. And then a villa is usually going to be like 1 story, and usually it's a paired villa. Sometimes there's like multiple units connected in a row, but a lot of what you're going to see in this area, which is a hint at maybe where we're considering moving to, is a dual unit and yeah, just 1 level.
Yeah.
But so that's, I think, the main things. And then yeah, like I think she touched on this before, but you know, the hurricane risk being a little more inland, I think we both like the idea of that. Just again, a little cushion from storm surge. We're not extremely worried about storm surge, but if a Cat 5 hits and it hits north of us and all that, well, I always got to do it backwards, all the water got pushed, so the storm's above us and we're down here, it would push all that water in from the ocean. And so if it's a Cat 5, we've looked at some storm surge maps, which Flood IQ is a great resource that we like to use. It shows that it could potentially get all the way to our house. And that's just enough to be kind of like, ugh.
Yeah, it's a little nerve-wracking, but at the same time, we are in a community where we have established drain systems and storm surge protection, that it's not as scary to be there, even if a Cat 5 were to hit. But at the same time, we just want to be free to go wherever we want, especially because we love visiting our family in Wisconsin, so we want to be free to do that whenever we're able to.
Yeah.
And not have to worry about the house on top of that.
Yeah, especially like I would say like August, September, peak hurricane season, it makes it a little more nerve-wracking to try to go anywhere for any extended amount of time. So that gives you a little bit of a clue as to where.
And then another reason why when we moved to Florida, why it was exciting, at least for me, it was like because from where we're from, the closest airport, now we have another airport that's close, but it's a smaller airport. The closest airport was about an hour away. So for me here, being in like Sarasota or Tampa, and it was expensive to fly out of there because we're like so far up north. So for me, like traveling out of Tampa or Sarasota was a little more affordable. So like that's another reason to want to move maybe more inland, be more protected, because that way we can just like keep an eye on flight. And whenever we find flights that are not too crazy, then we can, you know, just go wherever we want.
Yeah. And I think, so those are the big things. The hurricanes, being a little more inland,
Yes.
a little more low maintenance, being able to visit family. I think those are all the more major things. So that being said, that gives you a sense for like, okay, these are the areas we kind of are steering towards. One other thing I think worth mentioning is we do like getting up to Sarasota and would like to do so more frequently. That being said, also, you know, we don't get up there as much for a couple reasons. One, she's been having some health issues lately, so it's just kind of giving us a little bit less flexibility as far as feeling like we can just get up and go, and some of her health issues prevent us from being able to do, you know, some of the stuff we would want to do. We'll just keep it at that. But, you know, it would be nice to get up there more often. So that being said, we haven't really zeroed in on like, this is the spot, but these are a couple different areas, I would say, which we've kind of tossed them around with each other, but I don't know. We'll work some of this out on camera for you guys so you can see it kind of live and direct without, you know, anything being too pre-scripted, because like we always say, we like to keep things real on the channel. What are some areas that are strongly in consideration for you?
Definitely the North Venice area. North Venice, Nokomis area are kind of like the same, but Nokomis it's very different. But North Venice is more being developed right now. So being closer to Sarasota, like we just mentioned, and even being in Venice, but just farther away from the Gulf would be ideal.
Yeah, I think, and especially with that North Venice area, the new construction options and the incentives right now, you know, with interest being higher and things like that, I think that makes that area definitely appealing.
Another
I would put that as number one probably for myself, I would say, but I'm open.
Yes.
Okay, so what's your number two?
So the number two area would be, and this might shock you because I haven't told you this one, the Osprey area. So Osprey is right in between Venice and Sarasota. So being able to drive to both, either way, either going, you know, north to Sarasota or south to Venice would be ideal, especially for work and things like that, or if we have showings. It'll be a little easier than if we were to move to Sarasota, which I wouldn't be opposed to Sarasota.
Quicker access to the Sarasota airport too, though. The one downside I have with the Sarasota airport, though, is it seems like, especially like with Allegiant, where you can get some really cheap flights, they don't fly very much, or if at all, it seems like in the summers, whenever we try to look for flights. So that's kind of one check mark against it, but even so.
I think it's like a seasonal market for Allegiant out of Sarasota.
Yeah, but I mean, same thing with North Venice versus Osprey. I mean, it's the same situation, but yeah, I would consider Osprey, absolutely. Okay, so that was a little bit of a wild card. I mean, we've mentioned it before and both said, I would like that, but I didn't know it was high on your list. Okay, good to know. Can I go? I'll take a turn here?
Sure.
I think, depending on the home and all that kind of stuff, I would consider Wellen Park. You know, going new construction route, just all the new stuff that's coming to that area. You know, it would give us a lot of options as far as where to go for shopping and things like that. Because as you may have seen on the channel before, you know, and I mentioned this, that being in, sorry for the loud airplane, being in Wellen Park gives you really close access to a lot of the shopping on the south end of Venice, which is where your Walmart and Target and stuff is. But then you still got like a neighborhood market pretty close in Northport. You've got the Costco in Wellen Park. Lots of new stuff that's exciting that's coming to Wellen Park in general.
I agree.
And would put us a little more inland too. And then, you know, we would be a little further away from beach access, but not too crazy. And, you know, another airport that we've started to look at and had some family flying to recently would be the Punta Gorda Airport, which is awesome, actually, and seems to have a little more across-the-board flights throughout the year with Allegiant, which you can get some good deals on.
Yeah, I would also put Wellen Park, probably would be my third.
So Osprey would put above it?
Yeah, just because access to Sarasota would be quicker.
Okay, gotcha. All right, what's your next one? You got any other ones?
I don't think so. I think those are the main. So like Nokomis, Venice area. Well, Laurel too, which is Nokomis Laurel.
Yeah.
So like basically that whole stretch that leads to Sarasota, it's nice. And then Wellen Park would be the fourth one.
Okay, so probably not Northport for you?
I don't think so. I like Northport, and sometimes like I go back and forth too, but I think the idea that we have is being closer to an airport, which I guess Northport would put us closer to Punta Gorda Airport.
Yeah, and I said this in a previous video too, but getting another lot and having a basketball court or a gym would be pretty sweet.
Yeah. For that side of business, yeah, Northport would be nice, but for the traveling side of things, I don't think it would be as easy. And we would, again, be in a single family home, so we would still have all those things to consider when it comes to maintenance and hurricane risk and all that stuff.
And one other thing, I guess, and we've talked about this, but we'll put it on camera for you guys too, is just maybe going something even like a new construction house, but that like our house has so much plants and oak trees and all this maintenance around it that that really adds to the pot, and just like it's got to be maintained. With storms and hurricanes, you kind of have to worry about the branches or the oak tree as a whole. So there's a lot more maintenance that goes in with all that. So if we had a new construction home with maybe a little less stuff around it, it would lighten the load, and we could pay someone to mow the lawn. Mm-hmm. So that's another thing that I would.
Yeah, because like trimming the trees would be extra. If we had to pay someone, it would be extra for lawn mowing and also tree trimming.
And I think one other thing I want to mention that we should just talk about, I guess, but if we were to move, what would be some things you would miss about being, more where
we are right now. I feel like where we are right now, it's great access to Wellen Park without being in Wellen Park, without paying the CDD fees. So we have easy access to Wellen Park. We have really easy access to any beach we want to go to.
Really good beach access right now.
A lot of different downtowns, which we love to check out. So I think if we move to any of the areas that we mentioned, we would probably miss that, just because now it's going to be a longer drive. Now you have to put it on the schedule kind of thing and see if it works with your schedule to try to get to those areas. So having that easy access to the downtowns, to the beaches, any beach we want to go to, that I think I would miss. I would not miss Jacaranda.
No, I hate Jacaranda, to be honest.
To get on 275, that's the only thing I wouldn't miss.
That became a main road that shouldn't be a main road.
And
basically.
It's funny because so everyone that lives in Venice kind of like knows that Jacaranda is very slow moving traffic, and one of our neighbors, we were talking to them and they're like, oh no, Jacaranda is so perfect, so beautiful, because it is. It's beautiful with the trees and everything. And then we were like, we'll talk to you in a year and see if you still think that. And it's funny because like about a year or so ago, which it would have been like 3 years later, they mentioned like, oh, Jacaranda, like so slow.
Yeah. And I think part of it too is you adjust to the traffic speed down here and things like that. So, if you're coming from somewhere where the speed limit throughout most of your city is 35, then, okay, Jacaranda is great. But once you get used to being on Tamiami and driving 45, it can feel kind of slow. Because I think it's like 30 on most of Jacaranda, not even 35. So it just feels like, oh, come on. But yeah, and for me, so one other thing, and we don't take advantage of it and do it as much as we should maybe, but I would miss mainly Mango Bistro, but some of the stuff in Inglewood in general. I feel like we get out to Inglewood fairly frequently, but not as much as maybe as we should, and because some of our best and favorite restaurants in like all this area are in Inglewood.
Yeah, and I think we used to go more towards Inglewood before we had Wellen Parks downtown. I feel like now we're kind of like trying to split our time between Venice, Inglewood, and
Wellen Park. Yeah, and I think part of it too is, again, some of your health issues have kind of impeded us being able to go out to eat as much as we would want to, but yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see. Well, maybe we're hoping to get a lot of that resolved soon, and maybe then we're just like, you know what, we're good, because we're gonna go to Mango Bistro all the time, and we'll be good. So, I don't know. We'll see. We're definitely. Ooh, a bunch of cars here. I don't see that down this road very often. It's definitely something we're strongly considering. We'll see what ends up happening, but like we always say, we try to be transparent with you guys. So, like, if we're gonna make a move and we live here, I feel like it's the right thing to do to let you guys know that. We should also mention, obviously, so if we're looking at moving to all these different areas, we're obviously paying very close, not just for clients, we're paying close attention for us too. So we're also looking at things through that lens. So, you know, shows you like, we've had a lot of clients where it's just like, we want to go with you because you moved from out of state and you understand the process and what it's like and all that kind of stuff. But also we're looking to move again. So we're also, you know, continuing to look at it through that lens. And I feel like that's, you know, something that I think shows that we can really help you too, because like, we're not just looking at it from like, you know, an outside perspective. Yeah, we're still like in that mindset, and we're always looking at the next potential move, but it's in the area. So if you are looking to buy or sell a home here, we would love to help you out.
Make sure to call, text, or email our real estate team, 941-221-1897. We've helped a lot of people move to the area. We'd love to help you too.
And we can help you get those answers, questions that are sometimes impossible to find, often impossible to find online, help you save a lot of money and make sure that you're happy. That's always our number one goal. Yeah, if you want to know more about all the cities that we talked about in this area, or the areas we've been talking about in this video, we always have playlists in the description down below. And thanks for watching, and
Live breezy.
she did it by herself.